to comply with the mandate or face a penalty. Why is it that working Americans have to suffer the financial burdens of an overreaching government-run healthcare system while these same consequences for big business are delayed a year? House Majority Leader Eric Cantor asked on the House floor. You know what? Here's the deal with Obamacare. Obamacare, I don't like. I like the fact that there's some. I like some of the aspects of it, but I wanted single-payer healthcare. I want the government to pay for the healthcare. I think there's a huge problem in commercializing and profiting off of healthcare because, first of all, there is no money in curing illness. There's only money in treating illness because sick people need treatment repeatedly, whereas a cured person doesn't need to be cured anymore. A cured person is fine. They don't need any more treatment, so they're fine. They don't bring any more money. There's no money in health. There's only money in sickness. They want to keep you sick. That's why the foods that we have are legal, but they put crap in those foods. They put poison in our food, really. I mean, in frozen bread products, frozen potato products, and frozen dinners, there is a chemical, and I cannot remember the name of it right now, but it's the same thing that's used to make aerated plastics, such as yoga mats. It's the same thing that's used to make bleach. It is a toxic chemical. It really is. And it's perfectly okay in our food, according to the U.S. government, which, I don't agree with. I think, personally, if you want to put that in your body, you should be able to. I don't think anybody should be able to tell you what you can and can't put in your body. But I also don't think that you should be ignorant of what you're putting in your body. I don't think it should be a little bitty print on the ingredients label that is a chemical that nobody knows what it is because nobody has exposed it yet. I want clear marking of what these things are on our food. And, the Monsanto Protection Act, which says, we don't need to label genetically modified organisms for food. Well, guess what? We should label them. Other countries label them. We don't. Why not? Because it's corporations. They make big money and they pay the government. They pay the government salaries, basically, by paying for their campaign contributions, by lobbyists to make backroom deals. And it's insane. It's really insane, the crap that these government systems are corrupted by. And I don't know. Like I said, I'm a Democrat. I vote Democrat because I believe it's the less of two evils. I know there are Republicans who vote Republican because they believe it's the less of two evils. But, all politicians are pretty much full of shit. They are. They're full of shit. They're self-serving. They're money-grubbing. They're greedy little weasels concerned only with their own private power struggles and personal agendas and not with what's good for the country, not with what's good for the citizens. Because if they really were concerned, we would have passed a living wage law federally, nationwide, a long time ago, instead of this ridiculous minimum wage, which you can't survive on. Even the new minimum wage that they're going to be passing for $9.50 an hour, you cannot survive on. I know you cannot survive on it because, in my day jobs, I make $10 an hour. And I'm barely getting by, and, there's a lot of times there are bills that don't get paid because I only make $10 an hour. All right. It is the American class. I keep doing that. I am the American Classic Harley Hughes. This is the Headless Clown Morning Show. We are 31 minutes and 50 seconds into the show, so it's almost to the hour mark. It's almost over, folks. It's almost over. You don't have to deal with it much longer. Let's see. Again, if you have any ideas for what kind of stuff you want to hear on my show, what kind of people you want to hear me interview, debate, discuss policy, news, and things like that with, give me an email, shoot me an email, jharleyhughes@gmail.com. That's jharleyhughes@gmail.com. I am the American Classic. I will always be the American Classic. And, I'm just a lot of fun. Just like a Harley, I'm a lot of fun to ride, and I shake a lot. I have a tremor disorder. It's actually really annoying trying to eat food because everything goes everywhere. It's really hard to keep food on my fork, and when I eat peas, they end up everywhere. Oh my God, they end up on the wall, on the ceiling. It's a bad scene. But it did earn me the nickname the Human Vibrator in high school, which was kind of nice because it made me popular with some of the girls. But let's see here. It is 4:30 in the morning on Thursday morning. You are listening to this at whatever time you are listening to this, because it's a podcast, because, you know, it's really hard to do live radio on the internet, apparently. I don't know why. I wish I could do live radio on the internet. Maybe one day I'll figure that out. Let's see what else is in the news today. It is time for some national news. All right. PayPal credits a man $92 quadrillion in error. When Chris Reynolds opened his June PayPal email statement, something was off. The Pennsylvania PR executive's account balance had swelled to a whopping $92,233,720,368,547,800. That's 92 quadrillion and some change. Money that would make Reynolds, who also sells auto parts on eBay in his spare time, the richest man in the world by a long shot. Rich, as in more than 1 million times richer than Mexican telecom mogul Carlos Slim, and he's worth $67 billion. Oh, if only. It's a curious thing. I don't know, maybe someone was having fun, Reynolds said. So he logged online and reality bit back. His account balance read 0. That correct the amount. The PayPal admitted the error and offered to donate an unspecified amount of money to a cause of Reynolds' choice. This is obviously an error, and we appreciate that Mr. Reynolds understood this was the case, PayPal said in a statement. You know what? If I open an account statement and it says there's $92 quadrillion in there, I'm going to demand that money really be in there. I'm going to say, hey, it said that it was in here. I want it in here. Because let's face it, there is, on the internet, there's no real money. It's all information. And you can make $92 quadrillion on the internet. And if you had $92 quadrillion, you would literally have enough to give $1 million to each person in the U.S. Seriously. 6 billion people in the U.S. Or I think it's... No, there's 6 billion people in the world. There's 3.9 billion in the U.S. 112 million. 6 billion people in the world. You could give millions of dollars to every single person in the world. Not just in the U.S., but every single person in the world. And still have plenty of money left over. So, yeah, I would demand that money be in there, and then I would give it all away to everybody, so that everybody was rich. Granted, if everybody's rich, the economy collapses and, you know, everything goes back to, you know, caveman days. But still, it'd be great. It'd be fun to be everybody be a millionaire. Hey, small business owner, are you tired of having your Facebook account not do anything for you? Are you tired of having a Twitter account that's not doing anything for you? Well, your advertising probably stinks, which is not your fault because most people don't know how to advertise using Facebook and Twitter. And honestly, something that most people don't know is that you can use those things to make money. That's right, you can turn your Facebook and Twitter accounts into a revenue stream so that you can actually earn cash from those. I'm not talking you're going to get rich. You're not going to make $10 million a month off of Facebook and Twitter accounts, but you could flow in an extra few $100s a month, which would help out a lot. Now, all you got to do to get this service from me with Headless Clown Marketing is shoot me an email at jharleyhughes@gmail.com. I will give you a free consult. Send me your phone number. I'll give you a call. I'll give you a free consult, tell you what I can help you out with. And if I can help you out, I'll give you a good rate. In fact, I work on commission. Morning show. I am a pot smoker. I don't know if you know this about me. I hide it well, but yeah, I smoke a lot of pot. Well, not a lot. I can't get it around here because it's not legal in my state and it's really hard to find. When you're not a criminal, because the only crime that I have ever committed is the possession of marijuana. And marijuana paraphernalia, of course. But when you're not a criminal, it's really hard to find something that's an illegal substance. However, Colorado will be beginning retail sales in January, so I'm thinking of moving to Colorado in January so that I can buy it in stores just because I'm over 21, because honestly, the prohibition of pot, the reason pot is illegal is greed. Pure and simple. There is no other reason than greed. Because the private prison industry, which should never exist in the first place, because people should not make money off of prisoners, but the private prison industry makes a lot of money off of locking up people who smoke pot, people who are caught with possession of less than an ounce even. The pharmaceutical companies would be put out of business if pot were legalized, because pot can be used to treat pretty much every single mental illness. It can be used to treat depression, anxiety, and what else? And it's also got a powerful antipsychotic in it called CBD. Now, with those three treatments, and most people in this country, I think it's like 70% of the country is on medication, on prescription medication. 50% of the country are on 2 or more medications. Now, I'm willing to bet that most of those medications are either antidepressants or anti-anxiety pills, because those are the most common symptoms in this country. And if you could treat those with pot, you wouldn't need those pills. So that would put the pharmaceutical companies out of business. Now, the pharmaceutical companies are drug pushers. The tobacco company is a drug pusher. The alcohol industry is drug pushers. And yet, because they have lobbyists in Washington that say, hey, we want to make sure that we can still push our drugs, they're legal. You can get those all the time. You can, go to your doctor and say, hey, man, I'm anxious all the time. I can't relax. I can't calm down. Everything's going to hell. I feel bad. Boom, they give you Xanax. You get high off of Xanax. You really do. But if you say, hey, I'm horribly depressed. Sometimes I want to kill myself. They'll give you Prozac. They'll give you, an antidepressant. And it's way too easy to get these kinds of drugs. They get you high. They do get you high, because you're getting high when you're on a drug. Medication is a term for getting high. If you really have the condition, then getting high balances you out, because you are suffering from something, and an antidepressant, instead of getting you above happy, gets you too happy, but you're still high. You're under the influence of a medication. You're under the influence of a chemical substance. I don't understand why, especially cigarettes. Nicotine is a drug, pure and simple. It can be used in the treatment of intestinal conditions such as IBS, Crohn's, things like that. But it's a dangerous, addictive, deadly drug that is legal you can buy it in any gas station. You can buy it in any convenience store, because the government says, oh, that's okay. That's not a drug, but it is a drug. Caffeine serves no nutritional benefit. Coffee, Red Bull, you don't even got to be 18. You can buy soda pop at age 4. As long as you're tall enough to put 50 cents, or well, it's not 50 cents anymore. As long as you're tall enough to put $1.25 on top of the counter, you can buy a pop. And that's got caffeine in it. And caffeine is a drug. It's also got sugar in it. Sugar is a dangerous drug. Sugar is what's causing a lot of the health problems in this country, but it's perfectly legal. Marijuana is not. I don't understand that. I like to smoke pot. That's my drug. That's what I get high on. I don't drink. A lot of people drink. I don't judge them. You can get high on alcohol all you want. I don't call it getting drunk, because it's not different than getting high. You're getting high on a substance. You're getting high on alcohol. Now, I don't like the high of alcohol. I don't like feeling out of control. I like the high of weed, because weed, and this is my favorite thing about weed, and I've noticed this with everybody that I've smoked with. When you get stoned, you're good. After 3 or 4 hits of some good weed, you're like, no, I'm good. I'll set it down for now. I'm good. After 3 or 4 shots of whiskey, you want more whiskey. After 2 lines of cocaine, you want more cocaine. It's ridiculous how these other drugs make you want more, yet weed, you're good. When you get good, you're good. You don't want any more. And that's the drug that's illegal. That's the drug that is the demon seed, the demon drug. It's pointless and ridiculous and totally ironic that, cigarettes are legal, alcohol is legal, caffeine is legal, sugar is legal, marijuana is not. It's total bullshit. I say that as I drink a caffeinated beverage and smoke a cigarette. Yes, I do smoke during my show because I am horribly addicted to nicotine. It's a dangerous, addictive drug. I know it's killing me. I know it makes me